There's something fascinating about the way our inner world shapes how others perceive us. When people notice that someone looks younger than their age, they often chalk it up to genetics or good skin care. But there's a much deeper layer to it, a spiritual layer that we often overlook. You see, the essence of youth is not found in physical things, but in the energy we carry within us. This energy stems from a connection to the timeless part of ourselves, the part untouched by the ticking clock. Think about it, our inner self doesn't age. It exists beyond the confines of time, unchanging and eternal. When we live in alignment with this inner self, it reflects outwardly. You've met people like this before they seem ageless. Not because their faces are free of lines, but because there's something vibrant, something alive about them. It's as if they've tapped into a deeper truth, one that allows them to transcend the marks that time would typically leave. This isn't something that happens by accident. It's cultivated consciously or unconsciously by how we live and how we think. When we embrace the present moment, when we're truly engaged with life, we're drawing from that well of timelessness within us. Stress, worry, and regret are what age us not just emotionally, but physically. These things pull us away from the present, anchoring us to things that no longer matter or things that haven't even happened yet. They create tension in our bodies and cloud in our minds, and that tension etches itself onto our faces. But when you live in the moment, when you stop carrying the weight of yesterday and stop fearing tomorrow, your entire being relaxes. That relaxation is the foundation of a youthful presence. People who exude youthfulness often have something in common. They're deeply connected to themselves. This doesn't mean they've figured everything out, or that their lives are perfect. It simply means they've cultivated an awareness of who they are beyond their roles, their achievements, or their age. They've realized that the essence of who they are is not defined by the number of years they've lived. And once you start to see yourself in this way, it changes how others see you too. This is where practices like mindfulness, gratitude, and self-reflection come in. They aren't just spiritual buzzwords, they're tools for reconnecting with a part of you that's timeless. When you're mindful, you're fully present. And in that presence, you're drawing from an energy that doesn't age. Gratitude works similarly. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you're aligning with a sense of abundance, and that abundance naturally radiates outward. Some might call this energy your life force or your soul's light. Whatever you name it, it's undeniably powerful. And the more you nurture it, the more it shows. It's in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and even the way you look. People sense it, even if they can't put their finger on what it is. This doesn't mean you should strive to appear youthful as some kind of goal. That's not the point. The point is to live in harmony with your inner self, to honor the part of you that is unchanging and eternal. The youthful appearance is merely a byproduct of that alignment. So, if you've ever wondered why someone might say you look younger than your years, consider this: it may be less about your skin or your routine and more about your spirit. When you nurture the timeless part of you, it shows. And that's not something that can be bottled or bought, it's something that must be lived. After all, what people see on the outside is just a reflection of what's happening within. The way we experience life often determines how life reflects back at us. And one of the most profound influences on how others perceive us is the emotional state we carry within. The energy of youthfulness isn't just about physical vitality, it's rooted in emotional freedom. You see, emotions shape not only our inner world, but also the way we interact with the outer world. When we carry unresolved pain, resentment, or fear, those emotions weigh us down. They become visible in the way we move, the way we speak, and yes, even in the way we look. But here's the beautiful thing: when you release those emotions, when you free yourself from the chains of emotional baggage, you create space. Space for joy, for curiosity, for the lightness that comes with living fully in the moment. That lightness is magnetic. It's the kind of energy that makes people say there's something different about you, or you seem younger than you did last time I saw you. This doesn't mean you ignore your emotions or push them aside. Quite the opposite. It means you allow yourself to feel them, to process them, and then to let them go. Emotional repression is what creates tension. Think about how a clenched fist feels after a while, tight, restricted, and painful. Now imagine holding that tension in your body for years. It's exhausting, and it takes a toll on your spirit and appearance. When you allow yourself to feel fully, you're giving those emotions the space to move through you rather than settle within you. Anger, sadness, fear, they all have a place. They're natural responses to life's challenges. But when you cling to them, when you refuse to let them flow, they solidify. They become part of the story you carry with you, etched not just into your mind, but into your face, your posture, your very being. The trick isn't in avoiding emotional pain, it's in embracing it with the understanding that it's not permanent. Like a storm passing through, emotions are meant to move, and once they do, they leave behind a kind of clarity, a calm that feels like sunlight after rain. That calmness is where your emotional youth resides. It's what allows you to approach life with wonder and openness, qualities often associated with the young. And here's something fascinating: science even supports this idea. Chronic stress and negative emotions have been shown to accelerate physical aging by shortening telomeres, the protective caps on our DNA. But practices like mindfulness and emotional regulation can help preserve these telomeres, essentially slowing the aging process. The science only confirms what many ancient traditions have long taught: emotional balance is a cornerstone of vitality. It's not always easy to let go of emotions, especially the ones tied to deep wounds or long-held fears. But it starts with a choice to no longer define yourself by the pain you've endured, a choice to no longer let those experiences dictate the way you live your life. Forgiveness, for instance, is one of the most powerful ways to reclaim your emotional freedom. Not because the person who hurt you deserves it, but because you deserve to be free from the burden of carrying that pain. When you free yourself emotionally, your entire being responds. Your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, and your spirit more expansive. It's a kind of youthfulness that no cream or serum can replicate, because it comes from within. It's the light in your eyes, the ease in your smile, the way your energy fills a room. So if you've ever wondered why some people seem ageless, consider this: maybe it's not just about genetics or lifestyle. Maybe it's about the emotional freedom they've cultivated, a freedom that allows them to face life with curiosity and resilience, rather than fear and resistance. Because at the heart of it all, true youth isn't found in resisting time, but in releasing the burdens that time tries to place upon us. There's something profoundly transformative about being present in the moment. When you immerse yourself fully in the now, you shed layers of unnecessary tension, worry, and pretense, layers that don't just weigh on your mind, but manifest in your body as well. It's almost as if the weight of time, the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties, presses into us, leaving its mark. Yet when you step fully into the present, that weight begins to lift. Think about how often we carry the past with us. Every mistake, every heartbreak, every failure, like a mental slideshow on repeat. It's not that we're consciously choosing to relive those moments, but the mind has a way of clinging to what it can't let go of. And it doesn't stop there. We're also burdened by the future, constantly projecting our fears, hopes, and expectations onto a horizon that hasn't even arrived. This incessant pendulum swing between what was and what might be robs us of the vitality that exists only in what is. And here's the irony, youthfulness. isn't just about how many years you've lived. It's about the aliveness you bring to each moment. Look at children, they are masters of presence. They laugh without reservation, cry without shame, and marvel at the simplest things. They're not bogged down by the need to control the uncontrollable. And this is why their energy feels so light, so magnetic. But as we grow older, society conditions us to prioritize productivity over presence. We're taught to focus on what's next, what's better, what's missing. In this endless chase, we lose touch with the richness of life that unfolds right here, right now. And while the physical effects of aging may be inevitable, the mental and emotional toll we take on ourselves by living outside of the present is entirely optional. The practice of presence, of being fully here, isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's not about denying the existence of pain, loss, or uncertainty. Rather, it's about meeting life exactly as it is, without adding layers of resistance or interpretation. When you truly live in the present, you realize that most of your suffering comes not from what's happening, but from your resistance to what's happening. Imagine for a moment that you're holding a glass of water. At first it feels light, almost weightless. But hold it long enough and it begins to feel heavier. Not because the glass has changed, but because your arm has grown tired from holding on. This is what happens when we cling to thoughts about the past or fears about the future. They grow heavier the longer we carry them. Presence is like setting the glass down. And the beauty of presence is that it's available to you at any moment. It doesn't require years of training or the perfect environment. It's as simple as taking a breath and feeling the air fill your lungs. It's noticing the sensation of your feet on the ground, the sound of the wind, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. These small acts of awareness anchor you to the now, where life truly happens. When you embrace the present, something extraordinary begins to occur. Your body relaxes, your mind clears, and your energy shifts. You stop overthinking every step, and in doing so, you move with greater ease. The tension in your face softens, the tightness in your shoulders loosens, and your posture becomes more open. You start to carry yourself differently, not with the heaviness of someone weighed down by life, but with the lightness of someone fully alive to it. And this lightness, this openness, is what people notice. They might not be able to put it into words, but they feel it. They see it in the way your eyes sparkle when you're not distracted by worry, in the way your smile reaches all the way to your heart, and in the way you seem to flow effortlessly through your day. It's not that life suddenly becomes easier, it's that you're no longer fighting against it. The present moment is where all your power resides. It's where healing begins, where joy is felt, where love is experienced. And when you live from this place of presence, you exude a kind of timeless energy. It's not that you're trying to appear younger or more vibrant. It's that you're no longer weighed down by the things that make people feel older than they are. You've tapped into the eternal flow of life, and it shows. So if you want to unlock the secret to appearing ageless, don't chase youth, chase presence. It's not found in a bottle or routine. It's found in the way you engage with the world around you. Right now, in this very moment, you have everything you need to embody that energy. All it takes is a willingness to let go of what's behind you, release what lies ahead, and step fully into the gift of now. Because the truth is, the only moment that truly matters is this one. And when you live in it, you don't just appear younger, you feel it too. Have you ever noticed how deeply our emotions affect the way we carry ourselves? Not just in the obvious ways, like the way a heavy heart might drag down your posture, but in the subtler ways that reflect your inner state. When you're at peace, when you feel joy or gratitude, it's as though something within you shines outward, touching everything around you. This isn't just poetic sentiment, it's the way our energy works. And this energy, this inner vibration, can shape not just how you feel, but how others perceive you. You see, the emotions we hold onto don't just stay inside, they ripple outward, shaping our expressions, our movements, even the way we age. Think of someone who's been consumed by anger or resentment for years. You don't even have to hear them speak to sense it. It's in their clenched jaw, their furrowed brow, their tightly wound energy. The body, as they say, keeps the score. But here's the good news, the opposite is also true. When you cultivate emotions like love, compassion, and gratitude, they don't just make you feel good, they have a profound effect on your physical being. They soften you not in the sense of weakness, but in a way that allows your true essence to come forward. It's as though these emotions unlock a kind of timeless beauty, one that isn't tied to the surface but radiates from within. Gratitude, in particular, has a transformative power that's often underestimated. When you're truly grateful, your entire perspective shifts. Gratitude pulls your focus away from what's lacking, from what's broken or incomplete, and brings you into alignment with what's already abundant in your life. It changes the way you see the world, and in doing so, it changes the way the world sees you. Now, gratitude isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's not about dismissing the challenges or pretending that loss doesn't hurt. Rather, it's about finding that small light even in the darkest moments. It's realizing that even in struggle, there's something to learn, something to grow from, and yes, something to be thankful for. When you embrace gratitude, your energy shifts from one of scarcity to one of abundance. And this shift isn't just theoretical, it's physical. Studies have shown that positive emotions like gratitude can lower stress, improve heart health, and even slow the aging process. But you don't need studies to tell you this. You felt it yourself in those moments of pure joy when the weight of the world seems to lift and you feel lighter, freer, more alive. Compassion works in much the same way. To truly care for someone else, to feel their pain and their joy as your own, requires a kind of openness. It requires that you let go of judgment, that you soften the walls you've built around yourself. And in doing so, you create space not just for them, but for yourself. Compassion isn't just about how you treat others, it's about how you treat yourself. When you're compassionate toward your own flaws, your own mistakes, you stop carrying the burden of perfection. You stop trying to prove yourself to a world that never asked for it in the first place. And in letting go of that burden, you stand taller, breathe easier, and radiate something that no cream or surgery could ever replicate: authenticity. Then there's love, the most transformative emotion of all. But not just romantic love or the love we reserve for a select few. I'm talking about a love that expands outward, touching everything and everyone. A love that isn't conditional, that doesn't ask for anything in return. When you move through the world with this kind of love, you become magnetic. People are drawn to you not because of what you have or what you look like, but because of the energy you exude. This isn't magic, and it isn't something reserved for a select few. It's the natural state of anyone who chooses to let go of fear, anger, and resentment, and instead embraces the higher vibrations of love, gratitude, and compassion. It's not about denying the reality of life's hardships, but about choosing how you respond to them. When you live in alignment with these emotions, you stop aging in the way most people think of aging. You stop carrying the lines of stress and worry on your face. Instead, you carry the lines of someone who has lived fully, who has loved deeply, and who has found peace within themselves. These are the lines that tell a story not of years lost, but of life gained. So if you want to tap into that ageless energy, don't look for it outside of yourself. Don't search for it in mirrors or in the eyes of others. Look inward. Cultivate emotions that elevate you. Let gratitude fill your heart, let compassion soften your edges, and let love guide your steps. because the beauty you're searching for is already within you. And when you live from this place of deep emotional alignment, you don't just appear younger, you feel it. You embody it. And that feeling, that energy, is the most timeless thing of all. Let's talk about how presence itself carries a transformative power. Not presence in the sense of merely being physically here, but presence as a state of awareness. It's that deep, unmistakable quality of truly existing in the moment. And when you cultivate this kind of presence, it begins to change not only how you feel, but how you appear to others and even to yourself. When you're fully present, you're no longer weighed down by the baggage of the past or the anxieties of the future. Think about the kind of energy someone carries when they're constantly reliving old regrets or chasing distant worries. It's heavy, it's clouded, and it shows on their face, in their movements, in their very being. Presence, by contrast, is light. It's unburdened. It allows you to be free, even in the middle of chaos. This kind of presence has a remarkable effect on your body and mind. When you're not stuck replaying old narratives or rehearsing worst-case scenarios, your whole system relaxes, your breath deepens, your shoulders drop, even your face softens. And this isn't just an internal shift, it's something others can sense. People are drawn to those who carry this kind of grounded energy because it feels safe, it feels calming, and more than that, it feels real. Now, presence isn't something you can fake. It's not about putting on a serene face or pretending to be unaffected by life. It's about being so fully here, so deeply engaged with what's happening right now that you stop resisting life as it is. And when you stop resisting, something remarkable happens. You stop aging in the way most people think of aging. You see, a lot of the wear and tear we experience isn't about time passing. It's about the resistance we hold to what's already happened or what might happen next. When you're constantly fighting reality, wishing it were different, pushing it away or pulling it closer, it creates a kind of tension. And that tension shows up everywhere in your posture, in your health, even in the way your skin carries itself. Presence dissolves that tension. When you're fully present, you're not pulling against life. You're not trying to control it, predict it, or change it. You're simply in it. And that allows your energy to flow freely. It's a kind of aliveness that doesn't come from external accomplishments or validation, but from being completely in tune with what is. Think about a child at play. They're not worried about how they look or what's next on their to-do list. They're just here now, fully immersed in whatever they're doing. And that kind of presence radiates a vitality that's impossible to ignore. As we grow older, we tend to lose touch with that. We get caught up in plans, expectations, and responsibilities, and we forget what it means to simply be. But here's the thing: that presence, that vitality, never leaves us. It's always there, waiting for us to return to it. Presence also has a way of aligning you with your true self. When you're present, you're not performing. You're not trying to be what others want you to be or what you think you should be. You're just being. And in that state of being, you shine in a way that no amount of effort could ever replicate. When you carry this kind of presence, you become magnetic. Not because you're trying to attract others, but because people are naturally drawn to authenticity. They sense the peace you carry, the ease with which you move through life, and they want to be near it. Presence isn't just about how you feel, it's about how you make others feel too. Now, let's be clear: cultivating presence doesn't mean life stops being challenging. It doesn't mean you won't feel pain, loss, or frustration. But it does mean you'll face those moments differently. Instead of running from them or clinging to them, you'll meet them with openness. You allow them to pass through you without leaving a mark. This is the essence of timelessness, not the kind of timelessness that denies age or change, but the kind that embraces it. When you live with presence, you're not afraid of growing older because you're no longer tied to the idea that age diminishes you. You understand that what truly matters, the essence of who you are, exists outside the boundaries of time. So if you want to appear younger than your years, start by being here. Fully, completely, and without resistance. Let go of the past, release the future, and step into the only moment that truly exists, this one. Because when you live with presence, you don't just transform how you look, you transform how you live. And that is a beauty that never fades. To truly understand the spiritual meaning behind why you appear younger than your age, we must turn to the concept of alignment with yourself, with the rhythms of life, and with the essence of existence itself. You see, aging in the way we often think of it, harsh, relentless, and unforgiving, is not merely a product of time passing. It's a reflection of how much we fight the natural flow of life. And those who seem to defy age are not necessarily holding on to youth, but are instead living in harmony with the deeper truths of existence. Alignment begins with authenticity. When you are in touch with your true self, there's no energy wasted on pretending, performing, or trying to fit into molds that were never meant for you. And think of how much strain it takes to wear a mask, to maintain a version of yourself that is pleasing to others but untrue to your nature. That strain is not just mental, it's physical. It weighs on your body, it dulls your spirit, and it shows in the way you carry yourself through life. But when you live authentically, there's a lightness to your being. That lightness is what people see when they look at you and marvel at how you seem untouched by the passing years. Living authentically doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It means you face them from a place of inner truth. Instead of reacting out of fear, guilt, or obligation, you respond from the core of who you are. And that kind of response, grounded and true, creates a sense of peace that radiates outward. It's why people who live in alignment often have a glow about them. It's not some superficial quality, it's the result of being deeply connected to their essence. Another part of alignment is living in rhythm with life's natural flow. When you resist the flow, when you cling to what's already gone or try to control what hasn't yet arrived, you create friction. That friction ages you. But when you move with life instead of against it, you conserve energy. You become like a leaf carried gently downstream, rather than one caught in a whirlpool of resistance. That doesn't mean you don't face rapids, it simply means you don't fight them. You trust the river to carry you where you need to go. This kind of trust is rare in a world that teaches us to constantly strive, to always want more, and to measure ourselves by standards that have nothing to do with our inner truth. But those who appear timeless understand that striving is a trap. They know that real beauty, real vitality, comes not from striving but from being. It comes from showing up fully in each moment, not because you're trying to get somewhere, but because you're honoring the journey itself. When you are aligned with yourself and with life, you also align with others in a profound way. Relationships that are rooted in authenticity and mutual respect don't drain you, they energize you. And it's this energy, this sense of being uplifted rather than weighed down by connections, that keeps you feeling and looking alive. Relationships marked by conflict, deception, or imbalance take a toll, not just on your emotions, but on your very being. But when you align with people who honor your truth and whose truths you honor in return, it nourishes you in ways that nothing else can. Now there's one more layer to alignment, and it has to do with something far greater than yourself. When you are aligned with the vastness of existence, when you recognize that you are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of it, you tap into a source of energy that is boundless. This is not about religion or belief, it's about awareness. It's about understanding that the same life force that moves through the trees, the oceans, and the stars also moves through you. And when you align with that force, you stop fighting the current of life and instead allow it to carry you effortlessly. This sense of connection to something greater is profoundly rejuvenating. It puts your worries into perspective. It dissolves your fears, and it fills you with a kind of peace that can't be shaken by the ups and downs of daily life. People who appear younger than their years often carry this peace within them. It's not that they've avoided hardship or escaped time. It's that they've learned to move with life rather than against it. So if you want to understand why you might appear younger than your age, consider this: it's not about genetics or luck or even lifestyle. It's about alignment. It's about alignment. It's about living authentically, moving with life's flow and connecting to the deeper truths of existence. When you do this, you step out of the grasp of time, not because you've stopped aging, but because you've stopped letting age define you. And in that space of alignment, you find not just youth, but something far greater, the timeless essence of who you truly are.